Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mondoid, your one-stop shop for all things Project Zomboid. And this week, aiming to please. What's wrong with my throat? Hang on. I love you guys. Hang on. I sip my iced tea. Ah. Delicious. Anyway, this is a good blog. Let's dive into it. Let's not dilly-dally. So, aiming to please. So, first of all, this whole blog is about weapon changes. There's some massive weapon changes coming to the game with the inclusion of new ones and the discussion of future weapons later on down the road, which includes handcrafted ones like bows and stuff. Really awesome one. Really excited to kind of tackle it because there's a lot of good stuff going on. And with the weapon changes comes, again, a massive shift in how one will end up playing the game. So let's dive into it. So first and foremost, some of the major changes that are happening are the way shotguns and pistols aiming, quote unquote, is handled. For one, in my opinion, the aiming skill is useful, kind of, as it is now. It doesn't really do too much to affect the gameplay, especially when you have a shotgun, right? Shotguns are good at taking out zombies pretty much no matter what your skill is. And in my opinion, as the game stands in its current form, the reload skill is actually way more useful than the aiming skill. The reason for that is because you go through bullets way faster and you need to reload constantly when you have a horde around you, right? Makes sense. You want to get bullets in there much faster, especially when you're using a shotgun. You have to load each shell individually until it's maximally loaded. The reload skill is way useful. The aim skill, though nice and definitely does allow you to kill certain things a little bit better, is mostly negligible. Well, that is going to be changing hugely. And we're just kind of going to talk about a little bit the implications this has to have on the way the game is going to be played from here on out once this is implemented. So one of the main things, one of the silly things that I have definitely commented on throughout my series over the years is that as you use a pistol, sometimes you'll end up shooting a round off and aiming at one zombie, but the zombie like almost 90 degrees to your left or your right will actually be the one that gets hit and falls over. This weird 45-degree angle pistol kills, and it's really bizarre. That is being fixed. Ranged weapon it's been slightly nerfed. The pistol now will actually require the right place of aiming. It's going to require you to be able to point at and look at the zombie you're trying to kill. No longer will it be, I'm going to shoot into this crowd and see what zombie falls over. On top of that, shotguns are getting hugely nerfed. They're too powerful. And what this is going to do is allow the shotgun is going to be a good, kind of burst fire weapon to keep the zombies kind of away with maybe killing one or two, or wrecking the torso of a zombie to make them slower or make them crawlers, but not necessarily kill them. Think about it. Shotguns are good at what? Widespread, very inaccurate gunshots that is going to hit a mass of zombies. Now, the way it works now, that is also basically guaranteed kills. You're killing zombies left, right, and center as you use that shotgun. With these changes, that's not going to happen anymore. The shotguns are going to be a really good early weapon because it won't require a lot of skill to use. You can kind of shoot into a horde and you're going to guarantee yourself you're going to at least do some damage, slow them down, maybe kill one or two. But the pistol is going to become an incredibly powerful weapon later on down the line. You might be going, well, why is that? Well, now panic and amongst other things are going to start to affect your aim. It's going to be one of those things where as you're panicking, your character has shaky hands, right? He's not very good at, putting aim down. So when you're panicked and you don't have any skill in aim, shotguns are going to be what you want to go to. But when you have a pistol and maybe you have 4 or 5 are full maxed out, skills in aim, panic isn't going to affect you. In fact, every single shot you do with a pistol, so long as you're really good with it, is almost guaranteed to be a headshot at a certain distance because you're so effing good. The pistol's going to become an amazing late game weapon because it might only take you 1 bullet per zombie to kill, and you're going to be able to start picking them off left, right, and center. That, and it's a quieter gun, obviously, and it's not going to give away your position all that much. So that's going to be really kind of dictate the later game. If there's somebody that you see with a shotgun and you have a pistol and you have range on that person, say in multiplayer, you're going to be able to take them out from a further distance, allowing you to be a stronger person. The other thing too is that with panic setting in, and you're going up against a character who's panicked, and you're not panicked, or you are panicked too, but you have skill and aim and they don't, you're more likely to hit them than they are to hit you. So that's going to be huge. That's going to be massive. On top of it, they're revamping the aiming skill altogether. So outside of being allowing you to like not panic as much and you'll still have a steady shot, there's going to be something called crit chance. Every gun is going to have a crit chance, which is essentially boils down to you got a headshot, because it's really hard to do like proper weapons kind of aiming in an isometric game, right? So instead, there's going to be a crit chance, which I assume will be dictated on top of by the aim skill, which is what they say. Maybe each weapon will have a different crit chance depending on the type of the weapon. But like we got this. So the aiming skill is getting completely revamped. Aiming skill now includes a lot of things. It includes your hit chance, your crit chance. Range is also going to be influenced by your aiming skill. So the higher your aiming skill, the further away you can shoot at a more accurate distance. Angle. They say that may sound weird, but because we're in an isometric world, aiming can be hard. So now with a better aiming skill, you won't have to be at a perfect angle. Again, as I was talking about before, those weird shots are not going to happen anymore, but with a higher aiming skill, you don't have to be facing the perfect angle. Another fix, another nerf, I guess, to get guns and stuff is that early on, you have to be facing the zombie like dead on. You need to make sure you're at the perfect angle to hit them. And of course, rate of fire. So you can be able to shoot faster than others, etc., etc., etc. Again, these are all things that are going to be tweaked and toyed with. So right away, guns. It's interesting because guns are kind of the go-to, right? Right now, I'm about to go into the mall in my current playthrough, and I'm stockpiling weapons and guns. In my current version of the game, it doesn't matter that I have no skill in aim or reload. I'm going to take those guns and I'm going to be able to do damage. I'm going to be able to take out zombies. But once this comes into play, if I have no aim in any of the weapons, if I have no skill in any aim at all, trying to take guns and going into the mall could just be a death sentence, because the pistol's going to be a disaster. My character's going to be panicked as all hell. The shotgun, which is probably the only thing my character would be able to use with no aim skill, even remotely effectively, won't kill zombies, will just kind of incapacitate or push them back. And now suddenly, hordes are way scarier. Now, hordes are already really scary in this game, don't get me wrong, but they kind of lose that sense of urgency. They lose that sense of panic, of terror when you have weapons with ammo. Now, suddenly, I need to get those weapons and ammo, and I need to go out and practice. I need to find solo zombies or small packs of zombies and go practice shooting zombies, making sure I spend the time with my character to put bullets in zombies' head, wasting that ammo and time just to make sure that later on in my character's survival career, if he survives later, I am actually good at using a gun. It has early implications too, because like I said, you actually have to go out and waste that precious ammo that you found in order to get better. You can hoard the ammo all you want, but if you don't use it, if you don't put the skill to use, you'll never get any better. So when the time comes, if the time comes, and a horde shows up to kill you, and you have no skill in aim, then all that ammo is going to be shit, because you're not going to be able to shoot for shit. Your character's going to be trembling, he's going to be firing and missing, he might hit a leg or a torso but never get a headshot, the shotgun's not going to kill, it's going to be bad news. So already that huge gameplay mechanic completely changes how the early game is going to be dictated to somebody who maybe finds a pistol and a little bit of ammo early on. They might actually go out of their way to use that ammo and to improve their skill so that later on down the line, they'll have the ability to not suck using a gun. And in multiplayer, that could be the difference between life and death when coming across an enemy player, if they're evil or, a bandit or whatever, which is crazy. On top of that, they're talking about how there's the different weapons that are coming in. Everybody's like, where's my AK-47? Where's my stuff? And they're like, no, not now, not happening anytime soon. I still think it should never happen. If it is, it should be super rare, but I think that could just be overpowered. But they are implementing a bolt action rifle, like a hunting rifle, which makes sense. It's right now he's planning on using the shotgun model for it, but Andy will probably whip up a quick with air quotations, kind of graphic for the thing. It's going to have huge distance, a huge crit chance. It's going to have a recoil time and all that good stuff. And that's another thing I kind of just totally skimmed over is recoil time. Every time you use a gun, it's going to have a recoil time. And the recoil time is going to basically mean you can't shoot super fast unless you have more aim and skill and all that stuff. So that's really important too. So there's going to be recoil on guns as well, and all kinds of good stuff. And for the future, they're talking about bows and handcrafted weapons and all this other stuff, which is just really, really exciting. And that's the blog. It's all about the stuff. I would suggest you go read this in detail because I did kind of skim over it just to get as much of what I wanted to say in within a 10-minute time frame, because I try to keep these 10 minutes long. But this is a really exciting one just to see the differences. And again, one of my favorite things to do with these blogs is just to read the changes that are coming and then theory craft the major impact it's going to have on gameplay. Again, with a game like this, it's as deep as it is and has the different systems and is a huge survival simulation. Any major change to a mechanic or to the gameplay drastically changes how a good player is going to end up playing the game. So I'm excited to see what this is going to do. I'm excited to see the effects it's going to have on me and other players. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Come read this blog yourself, projectzomboid.com. And if you're a once a weeker, I'll see you next week. If you're a regular, I'll see you later today. And as always, I'll see all of you next time. Bye-bye.